Get real close. Come here. Can't tell anybody though. All right, but this is the number one thing. The number one thing to being confident. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for it. Do you want to know what it is? Guys, welcome back. All right, I'm trying something new this time. I'm still trying to figure out my groove and figure out what it is that's going to be best for me. I am figuring out what is the best way to get the best content for you guys and how I should film, because filming has been something that stresses me out so much. So I don't feel like I can be as fun if I'm trying to read a script, because then I'm a very good writer and I love to write, and I sit there and I have all these ideas that come out, and then when I have to make a script, I feel like I just lose all genuine authenticity and I just get nervous. I get nervous and I can't focus. So bear with me. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually filming during what would be maybe my brainstorming process. And I think that, is that lipstick? No? Okay. Watch out for me. Let me know if I got lipstick on my teeth. But what I want to try is I want to see and take you along the brainstorming process and see what I come up with. So I'm kind of like interviewing myself. I wrote down questions, and then I also just wrote about random things that I was thinking about. I was like, oh, yes, that's a great topic. So we're going to kind of go through it like that, like I would do in a live, and I want to see if that makes it more entertaining, or maybe it just makes it easier on me. So let's do it. So today we're going to talk about confidence. Woo! All right. How do you become confident? How do you gain confidence? How do you become your most confident self? This is one of my favorite things to talk about. It's something that is the main key into Operation Goddess. Your big main outcome is confidence. Now, there's so many different umbrella categories that go under and that you have to work through and grow through and heal through in order to achieve this one, right? If confidence is right here, we've got inner child healing, we've got fear of rejection, we've got insecurities, we've got mental blocks, we've got all this shit right here. All right, but it's possible to take yourself from here, get yourself through to where you're on the side of confidence. Through Operation Goddess, it is trying to get you to understand all the little pieces of you that are here that might be interfering with your way of becoming this one. How do we take all these pieces of ourselves and somehow mesh them, heal them, mend them back together to where we can be over here and be confident? Well, let's talk about that today. What I really love about confidence is that confidence can mean something completely different to everybody. For me personally, confidence is about, I think that my answer changes every single time. There's so much about confidence that I love and that I think that can be useful. And what does it mean to me? Bear with me here. This might take a minute. I want to flesh this out. Confidence to me has been a game changer. It means a lot of things. I think this question is actually something that's always been so hard for me to answer because I have so many different answers and there's so many categories in it. But I'm going to try my hardest and we're going to work through this together because this might honestly help me create what I want. Oh, guys, this is already being beneficial. Thank you for being involved in this process with me. What I initially think of is there is a woman in my head that I strive every single day to be, which is Roxanne. She is the person that I am striving to be. I want to be like her. She's amazing. She's the ultimate goddess of my life, and I want to embody that. Do I have key components of her already? Yes, but there's some that are still needing work. And that's the fun part, because you can always get better as a person. Confidence is being extroverted. Confidence is being enthusiastic about life. Confidence is being sure of myself. Confidence is loving myself fully and accepting all the parts of me, even the parts that I maybe used to hate myself for. Confidence is loving all the parts of me that aren't perfect and knowing that I am perfect and valuable because I have flaws. Confidence is kindness and sharing that kindness. That's good. I think I'm gonna stick with those for right now. That's a great start. Confidence is important to me because it's something that took a smaller, anxious, shy, introverted version of myself and raised her up to be something and someone that can help people and someone that can make people feel comfortable and feel invited and feel safe. I love being that person. I love being a role model. I love having people look up to me. I love being an inspiration to somebody, because that version of me is something little kid me always wanted, and she never had that role model. She never really had anyone that she looked up to like that. And so I always dreamt of someone like me, and I'm really excited. Oh, that made me sad. It makes me really excited to be her, and everything and every single thing I do is for my little kid self. Every single thing. I have worked so hard this past year in living a much more fulfilling life and loving every day and waking up being excited about life and having something that I can look forward to in every day, no matter how big or how small it is. And I love that. It's changed my life drastically, and I want that for other people. I want them to understand what it is about those little things each and every day that can make them just have a zest for life and to feel alive. What are those things that make you just feel so alive and exuberated and drunk in love on life? Like, what are those things? Put those in your day. I could talk about that. I promise we're gonna wrap it back around, but I could get swooped in, so I'm trying to not. But being confident and performing, I think, is my drug of choice of something that makes me feel alive, like with dancing. And when I grew up a cheerleader, like that's what brought confidence into me. I danced around even as a young kid. Even my little kid self, I'm realizing, was a performer, but she was just so shy, so nervous. But she loved to play, and she loved to put on concerts on her trampoline to all her invisible fans. And then I got to get a taste of that when I tried cheerleading, and that little part of me lit up, and I felt so alive. And I had never been passionate about a sport or like a hobby or anything before. And then when cheer came around, I latched on for dear life because I was so addicted to that feeling. And that's where my confidence came from. Cheerleading and movement in general is what brought confidence into my body. And I struggled a lot, even in cheerleading. I mean, I developed eating disorders, I developed body dysmorphia, which I had that since I was a kid, and that can be a whole nother video, which I have recorded 20 million times, but it never quite gets out. But actually, I do have a body dysmorphia video. It's not part of my podcast, and it's part of a more cringy time, but go watch it. I'll maybe link it. I don't know. That's scary. I don't know if I want you to see it. I don't remember if it's really good, but I do talk about my story of body dysmorphia. Anyways, there will be lots more talk of that because that's something that I'm very passionate about as well. And when it comes with confidence, body dysmorphia is one of those things that really stand in the way of being confident. Okay, cheerleading, performing, being zestful for life. Yes, sorry, I'm trying to stay on track. When I was performing, I was the most confident I ever was. There's not many things in my life that I felt really confident in myself about, unless I was performing. And I loved that and craved that and needed that. I think it helped me become someone that I was really proud to be. And I liked that extroverted part of me. I could be extroverted in cheerleading. And then I got into coaching, which coaching helped me and helped me learn how to be a leader. I've always loved being a leader. And then dance took me to a whole nother level. In the past couple of years, I've had to dig deep and break out of my insecurity because it was something that was crippling me. Back in 2019, right before COVID hit, I finally kind of started getting a healthy relationship with the gym. I didn't feel like I had to work out for hours. I didn't feel like I had to push myself and just do cardio or murder myself lifting. I was getting kind of a healthier rhythm, and I actually just started a 90-day fitness challenge. So basically it was, I guess that's not super healthy, but I just wanted to see if I could do it. Work out every day for 90 days, which is not horrible. I just usually I would work out probably about 5 days a week. So this was just like a little extra of a push. And honestly, I did really good. I got to day like 40 something, and then COVID happened. When COVID happened, it made my body dysmorphia really struggle. And then none of us knew what to do with all this extra time. So I was working out, still trying to keep my 90-day challenge thing going, but I was working out multiple times a day. I remember working out for like 6 hours. I would like lift, and then I would go for a run, and then I would like find kickboxing. Me and my dad got big into kickboxing during COVID, and so he ended up buying a kickboxing mat and gloves and everything. So it was fun, but I was just working out a lot, and I was being really tired. I remember my relationship with food got really hard again because it's like you want to snack because you're scared, because it was something so new, but I was like mortified to be snackish, you know what I mean? And I was obsessed with staring at myself in the mirror. I weighed myself all the time. It was a really bad time, and I had a COVID birthday that year. It was my, 23rd birthday. No. Was it? Oh my god. I'm about to be 27 next month, and so I'm like, whoa, wait, that was already 4 years ago? I think it was my 23rd birthday. Wait. Or 22nd. Damn, how many years has it been? Anyways, I'm tripping out. The math ain't math. That meme where she's like, and all the little things, that's me. Anyways, I think it was my 22nd or 23rd birthday. I wrote myself a letter that night. And it was basically like writing to my future self and what I would want to get out of this next year. And it's really sweet and it's really sad. Looking back at it now makes me want to cry. But it basically was talking about how much I wanted to get out of my own head and how much I wanted to love and appreciate my body and to stop hating it and to stop feeling like I wasn't enough and stop feeling like I was just trapped. I mean, my whole day consisted of, oh my god, am I gonna end up like gaining weight? Am I not looking right? Or I just felt, I was honestly in really good shape, but I just became obsessed and it was so unhealthy. And I started just writing letters to myself on my birthday or just writing about things that I've learned and what I want this year to be and what I want it to stand for. And I realized like, shit, something's gotta change. Like this needs to, oof, I'm getting emotional. Oh my god, this is big. I wasn't I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. These are good. I feel silly, I guess. This is monumental. So that was my pivotal moment of I gotta get out of this. And I knew it was one of the hardest things I've had to do. And I knew that and I knew by doing that, though, there was so many people I could help. But my main focus was helping myself first. And I'm glad I spent all that time. I kick myself to this day because that was 5 years ago. And I am just like, Revive is about to turn 3 next month. That's why I got all teary-eyed. I was like, wow, my journey to help other women and to help them through this, even though I had no idea what I wanted it to be, I just knew I wanted to help, started with dance fitness. Before all of this, and my like commitment to I'm going to help other women out of this started 3 years ago. And I've come a long way with it too. And if you have been around since the beginning, there's so much I was learning too, and I'm still learning, and I love to learn. I'm ready to progress forward, but I have learned so much since my first year that I would love to share with everyone. I was going through my own struggles then too. My classes were equally good for me, and I loved doing them, and now I'm ready to have a whole nother year doing it with so many more skills. And now I have a program and a course, and I am offering coaching to be a one-on-one like hype woman for these women. This is incredible. At the time of recording this video, I have had one client so far, and it was amazing, and it went super well, and she progressed so much through her journey with me. We worked together for 6 weeks. It was probably a little longer than 6 weeks. It was incredible, and I really need to celebrate that. I am so excited to work with more and more women and start helping them the way that I had to pull myself out. I asked myself a question, and I went on a really long tangent, and I'm really happy with what we went down together. So I'm gonna move to the next topic now. So I asked myself a question, and I asked, do I remember the first time I ever felt confident? Like, do I remember the exact moment? We did talk about cheerleading, and I do remember going through that. Ooh, first time. It had to be during my first competition or something. I remember being scared shitless. I remember being scared so shitless. I don't know. I tried out for cheerleading super late. Usually girls start really young. I started when I was 12. I just randomly decided, yeah, I want to try out for junior high cheer tryouts. And I didn't know anything about cheerleading. I looked up how to do jumps on YouTube. And I did it. And I actually didn't make it. No shocker. There was a lot of girls that year. And it broke my heart, but all I knew is that whole week, it was just a week, was the most fun I've ever had in my life. Even though I was mortified and uncoordinated. So I worked my ass off that next year, and I don't think I ever felt confident then. It was just fun. And I knew, I was like, I can do this. Because I was picking stuff up really fast. And then I think maybe when I made it the next year, that's when I felt really confident. And then I had so many different confidence boosts in cheer. So when I found out that I liked performing, and I actually don't remember the first time. I guess maybe Definitely when I went to All-Star, it was a whole different, that's where my heart really blossomed with performing, because we got to go to so many competitions. But I loved cheering at games at school. I loved doing pep assemblies. But I think I fell in love with the performance was All-Star. So I think I was 16. Yeah, I was a junior in high school when I started All-Star. I was a pretty confident kid though. Thinking about being a little kid, I would make, I need to somehow, they're all on VHS. I need to figure out how to get those so I can show, it's going to be so embarrassing, but it'd be really funny to show you guys, little kid me. I would just set up the little camcorder in my room and I would just dance for hours and just record myself dancing. That mortifies me now. Not real. Yes and no. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. But I had so much fun. I guess, and that made me feel confident. My little trampoline concerts, that's how I played as a kid, is I had concerts. And I played with Barbies and all that stuff too, but that was my play pretend, was concerts. So, wow. My confidence started young, I guess, but I was also very insecure and hated myself quite often. What is the secret to confidence? I think everyone's got a different secret, and let's try to dive into this a little bit, because we have talked a lot about what confidence means to me, and the secret is different for everybody, but here's my secret. I'm not confident 100% of the time. Sometimes I really have to pull that out of myself. Sometimes I'm really insecure. Sometimes I feel really anxious. I have a lot of anxiety, and sometimes it wipes me and it makes me feel so introverted and small. And I have to force myself out of it sometimes, especially on days you have to teach or be that extroverted self. So that's part of me striving to be the woman that Roxanne, and she is the goddess that I want to become. So I have to embody her sometimes and learn how to embody her and learn how to be confident. And she is what snaps me out of those moments. And she is who I rely on when I'm feeling anxious or when I'm insecure or when I'm struggling. So that's one way. And my second secret is that I truly, for the first time in my life, love myself. I value myself more than I ever have. I love the person that I am. I love what I'm doing with my life. I know what I deserve. I know what I can do. I know that I have flaws. I know that I'm not a perfect person. And I love that about myself. I love that I can be real and I can relate with people. And that, I think, was the biggest step towards keeping confidence a little bit more, because I can perform, and that's when I can feel confident. Everyone needs something sometimes to embody who you want to be, and some people like to have sex. Some people feel confident during their job. Maybe they feel confident lifting or doing a sport. But how do you embody that when you're feeling like the introverted, shy little person over here? Well, creating that persona or trying to think about how do I feel in those moments when I'm working out? How do I feel when I'm cooking? How do I feel when I'm, whatever it is that, insert what makes you feel confident, or when I'm really dressed up, or I'm gonna go out with my friends, so I put my makeup on and I put my heels on, or I look good, or maybe it's when you're comfy in your sweats. Whatever you feel most confident, think about what it is that you're bringing to the table. I'm usually probably standing up straight, my chin's up, I'm radiating excitement because I feel good. All of those kind of things you can try to put when you're awkward and shy, and it's really hard. It is really hard, but that's just a step. Say you do know how to get there. There's still empty patches sometimes. So when you can fully accept and love everything about yourself and everything of who you are, it's so much easier and it can last longer. It's the equivalent to what I think about of joy. There's happiness, which comes and goes. There's sadness, which comes and goes. And then to me, joy is in the middle. Because joy is an overall, I have a good and a lightness about me all the time. I'm going to have bad days, I'm going to have good days, but I am constantly joyful and choosing to be happy and optimistic and truly romanticize my life. And that's what joy means to me. It can mean something completely different to everyone, and that's completely fine. But having confidence and having self-love is the equivalent of having joy in my mind. It's equivalent to just being strong and knowing in who you are and being okay with who you are. Once you're there, you can do anything. You can do anything you want. When you love yourself and you feel so confident in who you are, you can do anything. Anything. Whew, I love that. Another secret. I think this is the ultimate secret. Are you ready? I'm gonna get real close. Come here. Can't tell anybody though. All right, but this is the number one thing. The number one thing to being confident. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready for it. Do you want to know what it is? It's dancing in your underwear. It is. Dancing in your underwear. Get naked. Get wild. Take the clothes off. Pick a favorite pair of undies out and fling yourself about. I am dead serious. I am so serious. In front of the mirror, because we gotta see everything jiggling and wiggling, right? We gotta see it flapping. We gotta see it flying. That's the number one secret to confidence. Think I'm lying? Go try it. Go try it right now. I'm gonna tell you something. I struggle with filming. I struggle with this. I love talking to you. I love educating people. I love interacting with people. But when it comes to talking and videoing myself, it never feels right. I'm like, what do I gotta do to get it out? You know what I did today? Danced around naked. Well, in my underwear. And you know what? It was exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. And it's funny because I tell people in my classes, my heels classes, I'm like, do this every day. Do this when you feel shitty. Do this warm up and you're gonna feel like a bad bitch for the rest of your life. Or at least the rest of the day. The rest of the year. Whatever it is. And you know what? I know that. I know. It makes you feel better. I do. I teach it. And I don't do it sometimes when I know I need it. Because you do. We put this thing in our head of that's silly. I'm not dancing around in my underwear. That's weird. I don't want to see anything jiggling around. I don't want to see that. I don't want to feel it. Do it. Because you are going to catch glimpses of yourself. Yes, you're going to look silly. Yes, you should be silly. I think the weirder the better. Because you know what? Something will come out super hot. And you're going to catch yourself. And you're going to be like, oh, I am sexy. Okay. One movement alone. I said one. One movement alone makes you feel so good. So good. Shaking that ass and shaking your hips around is releasing tension and nervousness in your body. It is. Look it up. So it's actually wonderful to shake your ass, and it's actually a healthy thing to twerk. So let's get going. Let's get wiggling. You're not going to get good at something unless you try. So you might as well start working in the mirror. Start dancing in your underwear. Every damn day. Every damn day. Every damn day. Sing it with me. Every damn day. Whether you wake up in the morning, get naked, fling around, or at night before bed. Actually, careful on night before bed because sometimes it really gets you excited and your dopamine starts flying around and then you can't sleep. But if you can't sleep, go do it. Go get wild. I kid you not, it motivated me to shoot right now. I probably wasn't going to shoot till Thursday. I was going to keep putting it off. But you know what? I felt like this is a perfect opportunity to talk about something that truly helps me in the moment. I did it and listened to my own advice, and it works. Do it. Do it. You're gonna love it. Every day. You don't need doctor's prescriptions. You need dancing naked. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Please take your medicine. If you need to take medicine, take your medicine, okay? But dance too. There's nothing wrong with doing both. Medicine's great. Medicine can truly help you, but you know what doesn't help you? Being stagnant and not moving that body. Move it. I'm serious though. Like, get in your bra and panties. If you're a lovely, lovely male, get in your best Calvin Klein undies. Maybe they got holes in it. Maybe it's your like old man underwear you hope no one ever sees and it's all ripped to shreds. That's fine. If you like that, the grimier the better, honestly. The grimier the better. Ladies, same for you. Put on those granny panties, those period panties. Get crazy with it, because you know what? You gotta love all sides of yourself. But the next time, try a fancy pair of underwear. Get real sexy with it. Maybe it's lingerie. Maybe you want to show some cheeks. Maybe you got the cutest little thong. Put it on. Put on some heels too, maybe. I was dancing in my... Try it. Put some heels on too, though. Like, get weird with it, because you know what? As much as I don't like my shy and awkward self to come out, you know, I don't like that. But she's fucking fun, all right? Like, she's a good time, and I shunned her away a lot, and I've always just wanted to be the Roxanne version, but you know what? Little shy, awkward Ryan's a lot of fun, too. So I had to learn how to love that part, and so that's where the grimy underwear comes in. That's where your awkward dance moves come in. That's, like, you're already sexy, so it is easy to be sexy. But in the sense of, like, trying to take yourself seriously, if that's something you've never done before and try to dance sexy, it's not easy. You gotta get silly. You gotta get weird. You gotta get the sillies out to be sexy. You gotta be silly to be sexy, and sometimes silly is sexy. So we love it all here. We accept it all. Okay, I've got one more thing that I would really like to discuss, and then I'll let you go. So working yourself up to dance in the mirror is, like I said, I know it, but I don't do it sometimes. I'm like, why would I do it? I know that works, but I'm not gonna take the time to do it. And sometimes it's mortifying. Like, if I told my COVID self, like, hey, go dance around naked, I probably would like it, but I would be too scared I would see something I wouldn't like, and then that it would shut me down. Or, you know what, I feel silly. Like I said, you gotta be silly to be sexy. Maybe being silly mortifies you. Maybe that's something that you're like, I don't want to see myself looking stupid because it's gonna shut me down. Well, let me tell you this. It's like a skill. Think of something that made you super uncomfortable when you first did it. Like trying a new recipe. I know I get so stressed out when it's like something where you gotta fold the little things and you're like so stressed out because you're like, oh my God, I don't want to fuck this up. Or cooking something, there's already so many textures and different ways and different, like the ingredients got to go in a certain way or it's going to come out like this, or it might come out bad. Or let me look at my thing. I remember the first time I flew, that was the weirdest sensation in my body. It was not something I was used to, and so I had to get used to that, and then it became second nature. Or maybe you like to sew, maybe you like to rock climb, or think of certain sports. Think of the first time you ever did something you're really good at, like darts. Maybe you're really good at board games. Maybe you're really good at whatever. Some people are freaks of nature and you can start out just being good. But think of that thing that you were like, whoa, I was super uncomfortable doing that at first, and then it became easier. That's the same thing with gaining confidence. It's the same thing with dancing naked in the mirror. It's the same thing with getting good at heels classes. It's the same thing at learning how to love yourself. It's a skill that has to be practiced. But you're not going to get better unless you do it. So the more you do it and the more you're willing to be silly and be awkward and be uncomfortable, it's going to always feel weird in your body at first. But then it's going to feel good, and it's going to feel like, oh, I understand how to control my body. Oh, I understand how to wiggle a little bit. I've done this before. I know how to fold over my little muffins that if you don't fold muffins, I'm thinking of dumplings, I think. I know how to fold the dumplings. It's easy now. I know how to fold the egg rolls. I know how to make burritos. Whatever it is. Icing a cake. Or have you ever baked a cake and you don't let it cool because you're impatient and you put frosting on and it's melting and it's driving you nuts, but then the time you actually let it cool and you put the icing on and it stays perfect? Amazing, right? So it's the same thing. Eventually, being confident and feeling confident and learning how to love yourself or growing and healing, all of that will become second nature. It's gonna feel awkward at first. New skills feel awkward. You want to feel uncomfortable and awkward. You know what? I want you to feel awkward. I want you to feel uncomfortable. I want that for you. But I want you to get that out and push yourself to be awkward and uncomfortable so that you can grow, so that you can be good. And I'm talking equally to myself right now. I'm going through a whole journey of I'm confident in heels classes, I'm confident in dance fitness, I'm confident in chair, I'm confident in all the sexy things like that. But when it comes to hip hop or K-pop or lyrical or contemporary or any of that stuff, or jazz even, like I didn't take those kind of dance classes growing up. So I'm mortified when I go to classes, but I have been working on like, hey, it's okay that you look bad. It's okay that you didn't start out a pro. Like that's not normal. Like be willing to be awkward, because after I start realizing, oh, okay, I relax a little and I was like, oh, I can't put that in my body. Or, oh, I do remember that. You start recognizing things like, oh, I've done that before. I know how that goes. I've been awkward already. So now I know how to like do it better. So give yourself permission to do that. Like push yourself to do that. That's the only way you're going to gain confidence. You can't instantly just feel great about something. You got to work through it. I was going to use waxing. I don't know why. But I'm like, when you get waxed and you feel super amazing, like you don't just instantly feel amazing. You gotta go through a little of the pain, right? You gotta get your shit ripped off. And that's okay. You gotta look like a plucked chicken until it's smooth and beautiful. Like that's just how it goes, but that's such an awesome process. So if you're trying to gain more confidence and you're trying to love yourself fully, go dance in your underwear. That's my challenge to you. This was a really great episode. I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for listening. If you've got any questions for me, you know what? I've got a question for you. I lied. What area in your life do you want to add more confidence to? And if it's everything, that's great. But if it's just certain areas, or maybe it's your job, maybe it's you want to try something new, maybe you want to start a podcast, maybe you want to take a dance class or try a new skill, but you're terrified. I want to know. Let's talk about it. And if you want, I would love for you to join my Facebook group. It's where I talk to my community and we are building something really beautiful together. So if you would love to join it, it'll be linked down below, and I hope you keep your eye out for anything else. So thanks for being here. I'm so excited to see you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Your prescription is to dance naked every day for the next week.